Brackety Shy, Brackety Shy. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to in order the hour Bashim El Shai, Bashim Gakudash, double loss apostles and others of greatness doing. Peace and salutation to your beloved Akim that is pushing his word in sincerity and truth. With humiliation on the cost of forwards, to you I salute. This is the brother Desire one back at you with another lesson. The spirit and power of Yahweh Mishma Shai. Yeah, man, the B system on the move, the B system on the move. It says the EU, all right, the European Union orders driver-facing cameras in every new car to monitor behavior and potentially shut down vehicles. You see that? Coming in the dystopian world, people have the freedom now to insert their key into the ignition, start their vehicle and move. But there's gonna come a time whereby, if they monitor your behavior and it's not, to their standards, your car won't basically start, they could shut it down, anywhere. All right, and it's all about control. That's what Esau want to do, control you. Everything will be hooked up to the Internet of Things. We coming into these times, these little comforts is going to get taken away. All, this little freedom what you get. Yeah, man, that's why, everything converting to, these governments converting to electric, electric cars and shit, We ain't ignorant of Satan devices, this devil moving. He coming out on a great ride, babe. Alright? As of July 7, every new car sold in the European Union is required to include a camera-based monitoring system aimed directly at the driver's face. You see that? The technology known as Advanced Driver Distraction Warning System is designed to watch motorists and determine whether they are distracted, drowsy, or not paying sufficient attention to the road. You see that Esau will know everything about you, when you're in your car, everything. These serious times be coming in, You see that? He could tell whether you're distracted, drowsy, or not paying sufficient attention to the road. He could shut you down. You see? Brussels said it's about safety. Let's face facts. It's about mass surveillance, and 1984 is right around the corner. The new mandate is part of the European Union's expanded general safety regulation, which now requires all newly registered vehicles to include a host of electronic safety features, including advanced emergency braking systems, forward visibility technology, tire wear monitoring, and camera systems that constantly observe drivers inside their own vehicles. So more privacy. It's basically now, yeah, you could buy a purchased vehicle, but you don't really own it. That's unaccessibility. You don't really own it. You buy it, but you don't really own it. Esau will control everything. You see? The European Commission claims the measures are necessary because the number of deaths and injuries from road accidents is still too high, using under the guise of that. We ain't ignorant of Satan devices, but alright. He using it under the guise of that, or accident and all the shit. So this devil, he trying to enforce his laws, due to on the guise of that. The 2 Corinthians 2:11 and the NLT says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. Exactly. We know what he want to do, control. But he doing it under the guise of accident and all too high. It says road accidents simplify and says the regulations are part of its long-term Vision Zero initiative. You see that? An ambitious plan to drive road fatalities towards zero by 2015. All right. Ambitious plan to drive road fatalities towards zero by 2015. Esau think he's the most high. He control everything about you. You can't stop fatality. You know, the most high controls all things. You see, but Esau one has a godlike complex. All right, you can't stop this, or what they say, accident. You know, the Most High controls all things. It says, but the bigger story is not road safety. It is the normalization of being watched by government agencies at all times. You see that? These devils working evil upon their beds, right? You know, this devil, he coming on like great ride, right? And people ain't prepared. Enjoy your last days of freedom. This Micah 2 and 1. What sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You arise at dawn and hurry to carry them out. Esau, eat them simply because you have the power to do so. Esau, you have the power to do so. But what sorrow awaits who lie awake at night? That's Esau, the devil, the white, so called white man. Alright, this evil scam. Be aware of it. You want to watch you at all time. It says your car is now watching you. Under the new rules, every driver of a new vehicle in Europe must accept having a camera pointed at their face. You see that? Every time they get behind the wheel. We coming into some serious dark time, perilous times, dystopian times, future. You know, these people ain't prepared for that. It says authorities insist the systems do not collect biometric information. Oh goodness. And that the data remains inside the vehicle. However, critics point out that governments and manufacturers have repeatedly expanded the use of technologies that were initially introduced with narrow purposes and assurance of limited data collection. You believe that now? Never trust this devil. The regulation also leave many unanswered questions. What happens if automakers violate the rules? What penalties exist if data is stored or transmitted? Could future governments demand access to driving monitoring information? Exactly, all these be connected to the Internet of Things. Those questions remain intentionally unanswered. Privacy advocates argue that once the surveillance hardware is built into every vehicle, changing the rules governing its use become a matter of legislation and software updates. In other words, the infrastructure for mass monitoring is already in place. So imagine, let's say you got to go to the hospital, all right, or your family member, and your family member got to go to the hospital, then you get a little alcohol in your system or whatever. That means, and you're the only person to care them. So that means that car might even start. Because remember now, they checking everything, your health, everything about you. You see, the car won't start. You know, there's some crazy times coming into. It says Big Brother's watching you. European authorities insist that technology is necessary. Smarter cars mean safer roads. The European Commission declared while promoting the new requirements. Supporting argued that distracted driving and fatigue contribute to thousands of accidents every year, and that monitoring systems can save lives by alerting inattentive drivers before a tragedy strikes. Esau, boy, Esau always come with he tricks to trap our people, so make it sound like something convenient. But critics counter that modern vehicles are already overloaded with electronic intervention that sometimes create their own hazards. One motorist responding to the announcement claimed that an automated braking system activated while attempting to overtake another vehicle. While I tried to overtake as quickly as possible, it brakes put me in danger. The incident highlights a growing concern about skeptics. Increasingly, autonomous safety technologies can malfunction. Exactly, that's another thing. It can malfunction, and that could be havoc. Misinterpret a situation and remove control from drivers. Coming to America soon. You see that? Perhaps the most alarming question for opponents of the new rules is whether Europe is simply acting as a testing ground for global rollout. Historically, technologies and regulation introduced in the European Union spread to other Western nations, even through regulatory pressure because automakers choose to standardize vehicle platforms globally rather than build separate versions for different markets. Critics warn that once cameras become standard equipment in European vehicles, it will only be a matter of time before similar systems become commonplace everywhere. For those who see a broader pattern of expanding digital oversight, the issues go far beyond traffic safety. They argue that societies are gradually becoming conditioned to accept constant monitoring in exchange for promises of security and convenience. A camera in every car today will become a camera in every aspect of life tomorrow. You see that? As one commentator bluntly put it, mandated mass surveillance, no thanks. Whether these systems ultimately save lives or become another step toward a permanently monitored society, one thing is certain: the age of unobserved driver is rapidly coming to the end. You see that? It's coming to an end. Your freedom is coming to an end. You see? And these are times we're coming into. You see? It's coming to an end. You see? And people don't believe that. This Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, both the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So he pushing with this agenda. Esau coming on a great wrath under the guise of accidents and all kind of shit. Esau wanted to control you, boy. He wanted to control you, boy. And people ain't prepared. People ain't prepared, man. People ain't prepared. All right. This is Psalm 37 and 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospered in his way, because of him who bringeth the wicked devices to pass. All right. We ain't worrying about Esau. We trusting in the Lord, but we know it's gonna get more uncomfortable in this society. All right. Enter into that straight gate. All right. All right. That straight gate. It gets more strait. You know. All right. It gets harder and harder. Life is going to change. Not going to remain the same. You know. You could get up in your vehicle, start your vehicle, and certainly key in the ignition. But guess what? One of these times you have camera watching you. You know. You see the gas prices right now. Sometimes it's hard to basically fucking put gas in vehicle and even ride for a couple hours. Gas burning off so fast. This government converting to basically electric vehicle, man. You see things moving. Things moving. All right. You see, so we in some beautiful times, but things is going to get worse, man. You know, this beast system is on the move. All right. This beast system is on the move. This is Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and that caused that as many were not worship the image of the beast should be killed. The image of the beast is speaking through this system. All right. This system. All right. That's how they're speaking through the system. You see these laws what they're putting in place? They don't care. They don't care how you feel over there in Europe. It's coming to the West too. All right. So these people ain't prepared. That's their business. Because Esau ain't checking. Esau trying to accomplish his new world order. All right. So a lot of draconian measurement they come in. Okay. But I just want to bring those spirit value. Shalom.